Ding ding! Welcome to another edition of Connect the Dots, and this time again we're bringing back Mrs. Fatima Zahra Omar, popularly known as Zahra Danejo, on social media platforms because of the kind of values she brings from different things that she does, like radio show, social media postings, and conversations that are really interesting to change the narrative. It's Connect the Dot, and we bring people to you from various walks of life to talk to us about those daring aspects of their lives that will bring about change in our societies. Especially, I'm all about the change in northern Nigeria. And welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. It's really interesting conversation. That's why we're doing this again.
We're having so much fun.
Yeah, it is, and I really enjoyed it. And like I would say, this two are some of my best episodes so far because it's conversational, and you should allow a free flow one, and it will be more interesting for people. Oh yeah, so now let's go into more of the stuff you do on social media. Especially, we know about Divorce Diaries, we know about Adukwan Zamani, and a lot of things that you do. You do some Instagram live sessions too.
Danejo after that.
Yes, so there are a lot of things you're doing on social media, and they're making impact. I'm sure that one of those things you're doing there are changing stuff for you and bringing you more to the limelight.
I don't know. Like I said earlier, like for me, social media I see like as a hobby. I don't really take it that serious because, well, I just don't take it serious. But I've realized that you have a lot of people who kind of trust you, and so you have a responsibility to them to help them and to entertain and to inform. Back when I was at the BBC, they used to tell us that your content should entertain and educate at the same time.
It should be edutainment.
So Danejo after that, I started it during the lockdown because people were going through a lot during the lockdown.
Depression,
and I was getting a lot of DMs, because people call me a Debbie, and they're like, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. So I started doing Danejo after that during the lockdown. Everybody was stuck at home, but we had lights and we had internet. So I was like, what can I do to make my followers vent? It kind of just started like that. And honestly, I'm surprised how it took off. Now I basically do it every night or every other night, like no matter how busy I am, because it's usually late. So even if it's 1 a.m., people will still come on the live.
Some people, that's the time they get.
I think my notoriety is on Twitter, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
I know that.
The problem is Twitter. I can actually say I think I'm addicted to Twitter. I was at a point I was addicted to Twitter. Thank God I'm not anymore. But it still goes back to, there are a lot of people who they find me interesting, and they follow me. So you wake up and you have thousands of people following you. So it's always, for me, especially Twitter, I don't think about 40-something thousand followers when I'm tweeting. I feel like I'm tweeting to myself.
Absolutely, that should be it.
Yeah, that's really.
It's a microblogging.
Yeah, so it's always, because even when I lost my dad and I was, tweeting about my grief, and people were saying, "No, don't do that. You lose followers. Nobody wants to hear about your grief." But therapy for me is Twitter.
Yeah. So
most of the time, if I'm going through something, my followers will know, because I feel like it's like a diary for me, and I think I
do same too. When I lost my dad in 2020, I think that was the beginning of COVID really in Nigeria. So my WhatsApp was just a place to vent, and people say, that's too much, you talk too much, you show people I'm like, no, this is the platform for me. If you think that what I'm posting is not going, it's as simple as that.
The entire eye, close your eye. Close your eye. Like I had people say, but I think also part of the reason why people trust me is because of all the vulnerability that you display when you're talking about all the things that affect you. If I'm happy, I'll tweet about it. If I'm sad, I'll tweet about it. And again, Divorce Diaries took off on Twitter. It didn't actually even take off on the website.
Oh,
yeah.
You started on Twitter.
It was on Twitter that it went viral.
Oh, wow.
I think the first story we did, it went viral.
Wow.
And people couldn't believe that something like that could happen in northern Nigeria. And they couldn't believe that a woman could choose to be divorced.
Wow.
So I'm always happy that the team at Jaruma, we were able to achieve that, because it became like every Friday we're going viral.
Wow.
You know, so yeah, Twitter really, a lot of people also know me through Twitter, and a lot of people became very close to me through Twitter. Some people became family members to me because of Twitter. And it all goes back to what I use in social media for. I'm not using social media to abuse anybody. Well, mostly no payment. My vendetta against them is permanent and pensionable. Let me just say it. Yeah. But, you know, people, you have to use your platform well.
Absolutely.
Use your life as a class. And I'm known to be, I'm always defending women. Yes.
You're a woman.
Yes, my constituency is women. So it kind of, because you know Twitter likes controversy. So it kind of is, if you say something, everybody says, oh, it's controversial because, you know, the men from northern Nigeria, they attack you. And you know, I miss them. Come back. You know, I feel like there's no need to attack. We can all get along, but really what is wrong is wrong. So it started with why is she always talking about feminism, and why is she always talking about empowering women, and why is she always insulting men. I will say publicly, I'm a feminist. If you have a problem with that, that's your personal problem.
Deal with it.
But I'm not going to be quiet so you can be happy that I'm a good northern woman. I'm not a stereotype. All my life, I fought stereotypes. You don't know me. You know, so say my name is Zahra, I should be tweeting hadith. There's somebody that is doing that. It's not my work. I should be tweeting recipe. There's somebody that is doing that. My work is to be myself. And myself is, I'm a feminist. I'm going to tweet feminist stuff. I'm going to tweet things that make women open their eyes. I have an issue with no payment. I'm going to tweet about that. I'm grieving the loss of my father. I'm going to tweet that. Because like I said, for me, it's not, I don't think about my followers like that. Like if I want to post something, it's just, it comes in the moment, and it has helped my writing a lot also, because I have to like structure my sentences and things like that. And I started taking myself seriously as a writer because of the threads I used to write on Twitter. You know, one of my friends, Lola Shone, she does Kaba Fest, and then she does Ake Fest. And it's because of Twitter that Lola and I became friends. And kind of, I'm so happy to see like how successful Kaba Fest is, and we're always trying to, who do we bring this year? Who do we bring this year? We're trying to build like a book culture for Northern Nigeria. These are the things that come out of using your platform.
True.
Yes. So imagine if I was just there doing expletives and don't ubanka, kaza, kaza, kaza. Nobody's going to take you serious enough to say, hey, you know, I'm thinking of doing a book festival in Kaduna. What do you think?
What do you think?
You know what I mean? And we cannot, a lot of the young women that I mentor, I met them through Twitter.
Wow.
Yes, and I'm so proud of them and the things that they're doing in the world. And Adiko Zamani, Adiko was initially a radio show. It was on the World Service. So
BBC World
in
Service.
BBC World Service. Then it became, because it's my work, so it used to show up on my Twitter. And then it would show up on my Facebook. And then we say, we started doing live. We started doing Facebook Live or Instagram Live with Adiko. And before you know it, a lot of the things that you talk about, a lot of these women, they cannot talk about it. So they are living through you because you are the one that's talking about it. And that's a huge responsibility. So you want to make sure that you do your best to discharge that responsibility to them. You cannot just come and be freestyling and be doing anyhow.
True.
So like for Twitter, again, I take it like a hobby. I don't take it like work, but like Instagram, I take that serious.
Like work.
Like work, you know, I go through, okay, what am I going to talk about this night? What am I going to do? What am I structure it. I plan it like you would plan, like I would plan regular my show.
Work,
yes, regular work. But Twitter is, I think, it's only God that will separate me from Twitter.
Oh, that's wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I know you've made a lot of impact with your social media platforms. Twitter, you've got mentors. Would you say that you want to structure something for people who are following you on Twitter like you did on Instagram?
I wouldn't do that because Twitter is wild.
It is.
Twitter is wild, and well, Elon Musk just bought Twitter. Who even knows
what next?
What will happen? And we're constantly fighting misogyny, and we're constantly fighting. People use language that's rapist. People use demeaning language and stuff like that. What I'm afraid of is that it will become a platform that will amplify some of these voices that we're trying to fight about. But at least we can say that what we have achieved is that we have made more people sensitive to some of the things that they say, that this is what it means, to the misogyny, to the rapey language, to rape culture, to mental health. I'm so proud of what we have achieved regarding mental health. It has become a proper conversation right now. It has become something that
which wasn't normal.
It wasn't. It was like, this person is mad. I remember the first person. The first person I fired from Jaruma was someone who said, because we used to do like weekly chats with Jaruma magazine's Twitter handle. This person was on my staff. And she said, if you are depressed, you are not praying to God. And I took it very personal.
Wow.
I mean, she tweeted it with her personal handle, but you work for me. Hello, madam. You understand? Like, why would you
say something?
And she was insisting on it, and she was arguing on it, and you don't have a relationship with God, and that is why you are depressed. And I had to fire her. I had to fire her because I cannot work with someone who thinks that mental health is someone roaming on the street eating polythene bag and say, I'm haukachiachi. I cannot work. Because mental health is very, very important to me. It's as important as physical health. So we are trying to make it a mainstream conversation. And here you are repeating the rubbish that... the stereotype that people talk about. So I'm very happy that at least we've made mental health a mainstream issue. Yeah. We've made misogynistic language a mainstream issue. We've made rape culture a mainstream issue. Things that people thought were, like
things to be able to talk about.
Yeah, people will talk and casually say things that they will rape her now. She took my money. I took her out. I spent money on her. But a lot of those conversations from different people have changed that mindset. So at least before Twitter goes to hell, only God knows what will happen now. At least we've been able to have like serious conversations.
I'm seriously glad in that you were able to focus on things that really matters, like mental health. Because for Connect the Dots podcast, we're about people's mental health, their resilience, and building mindfulness. So that, like you've said in the previous conversation we had, like it should be about yourself. You're mindful of yourself, and you're going to be able to give better when you do that. Yeah. So do you think there is a change of mindset around mental health, especially in northern Nigeria?
Absolutely, there is. When I started Adikwa Zamani, nobody took depression, anxiety. We had to find a way to, because my audience is primarily audio, and it's rural. So we had to find a way to make it accessible. Language is important.
It's important.
Language is everything. My dad used to say that you have to find a way to tell somebody to go to hell in a way that they will happily go to hell.
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's his original quote or he stole it from somewhere, but like we had to package it in a way that people would understand that these are serious issues. And the feedback we got was amazing. Yeah. Because people were saying, so this is why I feel the way I feel. This is, if I, there was a woman that said, every time I see my stepchildren who beat me up, I feel there's the way I feel. I didn't know that it's called anxiety.
Yeah,
Thank you. Now I know what's wrong with me. And now I know I can avoid triggers. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy. We were doing, we were listening into people say, so I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to take care of my kids. I don't want to take care of my home. I'm depressed.
Yeah.
I need saniba. So one shine. So, and I have to give credit to the BBC. They were insistent on making these topics important so that our people became like informed. that your mental health is as important as your physical health.
Absolutely.
Is as important as you looking for a cure for your malaria.
If you don't feed it
well.
well.
So, but it is. I'm so proud of what they've continued to do that in other programs. They've continued to do that. We're doing things like postpartum depression, and they were saying, "Oh, I am okay. That's why she behaves in a strange way. We didn't know it is a problem, and we didn't know that it's not always aljanu."
True.
It's not always that it's aljanu. People can be bipolar. People can be. So it's amazing what you can do with the right language.
Absolutely.
I want to point that out. It's amazing what you can do with the right language and how much you can teach people with the right language. So don't always say that people, they are villagers, they don't know anything. You can find a way to communicate it to them that this is this is this.
Wow.
So I feel like, again, going back to my point, you have to use social media for good.
For good. That's the most important thing. So with this, we'll take a short break. A message from Hanana Nigeria Limited. It's a fashion company that sew bespoke dresses and all of that. So we'll be right back. And welcome back. You've taken that message from Hanana Nigeria. If you need any bespoke dresses, you can get it there. So let's go back to our conversation. Though during our break, we usually do the personality thing. We already did it before, so now we're going to say, why do you like Ribena so much?
Wow, what a loaded question. So I actually like Ribena because of my dad. I think you can already tell I'm
daddy's girl. Yeah. It's obvious.
So, when I was young, my dad used to be a lecturer at Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto. I hope I don't cry. So whenever I would be sick or down, there used to be a Shago in Sokoto locating. It was called Domo Stores.
Okay.
It was near the university quarters, so he used to take me to Domo Stores, and the only thing he would buy from, he was a poor lecturer. I realized this when I was older, but the only thing he would buy is Ribena. And it was the way he would convince me to take my medicine. So when I was growing up, I was very skinny. He was so concerned. So he used to ply me with all kinds of snacks, but the one drink was Ribena. And he loved Ribena also. So my attachment to Ribena is because of my father.
Oh my God.
And it's crazy to people, it will be just a drink. But, some of my fondest memories of my father, because he's gone now, I lost him in 2020.
May Allah continue to have mercy.
I mean, and, it's gotten a bigger significance for me now. It's not just a drink, it's my attachment to my father.
Yeah, it's a memory.
It's a memory, and it's kind of like, he's late now, so I can't share a glass of Ribena with him. So it's just kind of like my way of keeping in touch with him. And when I used to write, because of my attachment to it, if I feel down,
it's
Ribena. If I'm writer's block, it's Ribena. If I'm trying to produce a show and I'm having issues, whatever's going on in my life, Ribena will calm me down. Ribena will. Yeah, I think I was just using it to compensate for, like my father being there. But it's funny, something happened last year. I fell into a depression. I feel I should share this. And I was so depressed, even Ribena wasn't doing it anymore.
Oh my God.
And I was concerned, and I was telling my husband, even Ribena doesn't hit as much as it used to. Something is very wrong. And so when the way we grieve in Nigeria is you're not allowed to kind of grieve.
Yeah, you're not allowed
to
do it your way.
So I took care of him when he was ill. He was ill for 3 or 4 weeks. I was under a tremendous amount of stress. I was taking care of my father. I had to suspend everything I was doing to take care of my father. And he had COVID. So it was difficult because at the time COVID was new. We didn't even know what's happening. So one day he's fine. Next day they're putting him on a ventilator. Next day, you know, and I was the only one going to the hospital to give him food and everything. So the entire family is depending on me for information. It was stressful. And then when he died, I don't think I processed it. It was just like, okay, he has died, and you know how it is in logistics. You have to take the body to this, they have to do the burial, you have to pay for food, you have to pay for this, you have to do. So I think like at a point, a lot of things happened that I did not have time to process. But my motivation was, as long as I take Ribena, everything's going to be all right.
All right. Wow.
As long as I take Ribena, everything's going to be all right. So yeah, that is why I'm attached to Ribena, especially more now.
Wow. May Allah make it easy on us. And now let's cut the conversation with financial discipline. We've touched all the social media stuff you do, but financial discipline, because if you look, like people see you now. Like for instance, I don't know you. When I see you on social media and I see that you're driving Benz and all that, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's arrived. Oh, she got it on a platter of gold. Oh, maybe it's one man that gave her. Oh, maybe it's this. You know, that's the society thinking, really. For a woman, they feel like even if you're working, you're not capable of giving yourself the best. So let's do financial discipline.
Let's talk about it. I think it's important. So again, back to my father. I feel like he's like
that's the pillar. Yeah.
Co-guest. The way he raised us, especially me, because he raised me like he didn't care that I was a girl. If I just, you have to be financially disciplined. One thing about him taught us prudence early in life. And that's your value as a human being does not revolve around money. And then I got my mother's genes in that I'm rich in complexion. I look rich. I have very nice skin.
Yes, I was gonna say that. What's the secret to the glow?
It's my honest to God. So people look at you. You went to
the
Zamani.
Rich king.
Yeah,
people think, oh, you've got money, but like he's always been insistent on living well, but not living lavishly.
So
below your means.
So if you get 100 naira, his system is this: if you get 100 naira, you save 70 and you spend 30.
Wow.
Yes, that's him.
I've learned a lesson. That's a shot to life.
And if you cannot buy it twice, you can't
afford it.
So if a phone is 500,000 naira and you don't have at least 2 million naira to spend on that phone, you cannot afford that phone. If you have 1 million naira, you cannot afford that phone.
Wow.
So I remember one thing he did to me. I was working for a few years and I wanted to buy a car. All my mates had cars. And you know how hard it is entering one chance, entering what in this Abuja.
It's me that I experienced that one chance in this Abuja. 2013.
They will steal your phone, they will steal this one. So I said, you know what? I saved up enough. Why am I working? This one, that one.
I said I'm going to buy a car. And I wanted to buy this really beautiful Audi. I couldn't afford the Mercedes. So, but my dream car was the Mercedes. I mean.
So I bought the Audi.
And so before I bought the Audi, I said, oh, but like, Papa Dama, so I want to buy a car. And he was like, what? You want to buy a car? Come and take this my 406 now. He had this.
From when he was in government, so my father left government in 2008. He gave me 406.
God. I think there's no mechanic between Apple, Wusetu, and Garki that does
I do not know.
First name basis. Like they know me, I know them.
Wow, because they are customer, regular.
Who will take the car?
This car would overheat on my way to court. Those days I was practicing. This car would just refuse to come on. Battery issues, engine issues. And I suffered like that for 2 years. And I asked him, why did you do this to me? And he said, it's character development.
But at the end of the day,
it taught you a lesson.
Lessons. I can change a tire. There is nothing that will happen to my car
that you don't know. Like you can't diagnose it.
And it's a problem now because my husband feels like, why won't you tell me you have a problem with your car? Why will I come home and see you opening your bonnet? Why are you disgracing me? Why?
change your ways.
I will repent. But basically, you have to be able to take care of something before you can afford it.
Absolutely.
It's not just buying it, it's also maintaining it.
Absolutely.
So I suffered those 2 years because he wanted to teach me
lessons.
So the lesson did not finish.
Yeah.
We went for break. So after suffering with the 406, I finally got permission from His Highness to buy
the Audi.
I bought this really beautiful Audi. Oh, you need to see it. It fits me so well.
It's sitting pretty. Oh my God.
It was. And then any small thing they'll say, I say Munkira Lagos.
Oh my goodness.
If you
That's the killer.
That time, Kaduna, it was Ramadan Yaro, I think.
Yeah,
it wasn't Erufai, so we didn't have road.
Yeah.
We sure didn't have road. So any small pothole. Warning.
That's all.
Any small thing, warning. He said, look, let me just tell you the truth. You cannot maintain this car. So therefore, you cannot afford it. So I had to get rid of it with his guidance and insistence.
Oh my God.
God bless him.
I had to
get rid of it. But I got this very, medium price car. I got this really nice Kia that I'm still using.
Oh wow.
But I still pray to God, Allah Kaba Mumar Sandy, Allah Kaba Mumar
Sandy. I mean.
But what people don't know is I saved for 6 years.
Wow.
6 years? Yeah, I was going to save for 9 years. But I ended up saving for 6 years to get that car.
Wow.
I got it in, I think I got it in June.
This year?
Yeah, this year. I got it in June. And so it's weird though. I've always wanted a Benz, like all my life. Everybody that knows me, Benz. I like the Benz, but like now I'm like, well, now what?
Oh my God.
Now what's next? Yeah, like, and
Maybach.
No. It will be financially irresponsible.
It will be.
So I'm like, okay, I have a fine car now. Let me just park it. So I drive it on Fridays, and then I use my normal car to do my normal routine. Wow. And then I realized something about Nigerians. People respect me more when they see me walk out of a Benz.
That's the mentality.
Yes, but when I'm driving my normal Kia, people look down on me.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
That's norm.
It's so
that's
weird.
The society, you know.
I want to say this. If you are valuing people because of what they think, what you think they have, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
A human being is valuable no matter what. No matter what they drive.
It's not all about material things.
Yes, I mean, I'm so sad to see how, especially young women, how everybody just wants to get rich and
competing.
Have money. And you're even hustling for money so that you can impress other
somebody.
People, not even so you can enjoy
yourself.
You understand? You shouldn't be comparing yourself to other people.
No way.
You don't know their life.
It's me. Just like I'm taking a cue from you.
Yes.
It's me first.
It's
all about me.
It's all about you. Mm-hmm. But if you compare your life to someone else, you don't know their reality. You just see what they show you.
Yeah.
And that's why you see that Instagram. You see that Instagram. Because it kind of puts pressure on
young people.
And it's a lie.
It's a lie. It's a facade. Like it feels like, okay, this is what I want you to show. I always tell people that. So somebody is posting all the good life on their social media. Did they post their sufferings or pains? Don't even use that as a yardstick to think that they're doing better than you. Because some of them come to your DM and begging for 5,000 naira.
They beg for urgent 5K. Please help me. Urgent 5K. And I feel like if you rate your success based on how much you have on the bank, you will always be under pressure.
Absolutely.
Because money will never be enough.
It will never be enough at all.
So now I have a Benz, I'll say, okay, I want another flashy car. I'll start looking for money.
Okay. It will continue. The cycle will continue.
Even maintaining Benz is it bliss?
No be moi.
It's not like
no be moi.
We don't think about these things. Everybody's like they're waiting for a rich man to come and give them money. Or I hate it. I hate it so much.
Or a rich man's kid.
Why? Look, if you want to marry a rich man, let me even tell you people. If you want to marry a rich man, let me give you a secret. If you want to marry a rich man, you have to have something you are bringing to his table. Everybody is beautiful these days, let me tell you. Yeah. We are all beautiful. Yeah. Even if you are not beautiful, you manufacture the beauty.
You are.
So you are not.
There is condor.
There is nothing special about you because you're yellow. Yeah. You're all yellow now. Yeah. Everybody's rubbing cream.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about you because you have a beautiful face and a beautiful body.
It won't take you nowhere.
If you're not careful, you will commodify your face and your body. It will become a commodity.
Absolutely.
For sale. But if you want to marry a rich man, come to me for consultations.
Please.
I married one. But if you don't have
what to
something
bring
you are
to
bringing,
the table,
you need to go into a marriage with your own assets. You need to go into a marriage, especially if you are educated. You need to go into a marriage with your own money. He's not going to be spending on you just for you to be getting fat.
No way.
So if you are an asset, you are a contribution to his life. You are bringing value. Because if I was a man, I wouldn't marry you just because you're pretty.
No way.
And be spending money on you.
No, not at
that
all.
would be transactional. I don't want that. I want a connection. But if you are bringing value to me, I'm interested in what you have to say. I'm interested in Zahrah de ke akwai arewa. That's how the song goes, right? I want to be able to say that because I married you, this is how my life improved.
Simple.
But you cannot just be a fine girl
for nothing.
They will buy the fine girl, and then there will always be someone finer than you. There will always be someone with a better body than you. There will always be someone prettier than you.
Curvy than you, and
so
all of that.
Your life goal cannot be to marry a rich man. It can be part of your goals, but it should not be the main goal.
Yeah.
The main goal should be, how do I enrich myself? But there are women who are stuck in marriages. They can't even live.
Because of
financial dependence. And it's a real thing. And there's financial abuse as well. So they know that without them, even sanitary pad you cannot buy.
That's really sad.
You cannot even wear new clothes without them. So if it's unhealthy for you to depend on someone for that, or to be waiting for someone to come and change your financial situation. And I blame Nollywood.
Nollywood though.
And Kannywood. Yes, I blame them.
Hollywood.
I don't even blame Hollywood. Because in Hollywood, there's representation of women who build assets, who are career women, who have their own money. Even though that one too is problematic.
Yeah, it is.
But in Kannywood, the good girl gets the rich guy. You get. Then the bad girl ends up. Why does the rich man have to be the prize? Why can't I be the prize? Nollywood is always the princess. I be the slave girl becomes a princess. Or she marries the prince, or she this, or she that. It's unrealistic. It is. Especially in this economy where we're all poor. Nobody is wealthy in Nigeria now, please. We're all struggling. Honestly, so if you're waiting for somebody to come and save you, he will not come and save you. And rich people marry each other. If you want to marry somebody rich, make sure you are rich too. Make sure you have your own money.
Something to bring to the table.
He's not going to save you.
Yeah.
He will use you. If you're not careful, you may be used as entertainment. And that's fine if that's what you want to do with your life. But don't come and say that you want somebody to take care of you for the rest of your life just because you're a woman. No. As Muslim women, we know that we are supposed to be taken care of on paper. But tell me, how many Muslim women can say that from head to toe, everything they own and everything they have is because of a brother or a son, or Guara son ma, or a son or a husband? How many people can say that? But on paper, my money is my money. Yeah. His money is our money. On paper. But the reality is different. It is. As it is now with this economy, there has to be two incomes in the household. There has to be. You cannot be with gas yakari. You are sending your husband message on Wednesday, 10 a.m. He's in a meeting. You are sending him message, gas yakari. Kingani, gas is even now expensive now. It's like 10,000 naira.
As little as Maggi.
Maggi, whatever. And you're having, what about your own self worth? So people say, oh, I'm married to a rich man. I don't need to work. And a mentor of mine, she told me something, and she was like, people always insult her that why is she working? She's married to someone very wealthy. And she's like, okay, so the day this man decides to throw me out, what's next for me? And that's what happened. 3 years after we had that conversation, the marriage ended. But she already had her own house, so she literally just moved into her own house. And you know how our culture is. You can be married to somebody for 35 years and the day he kicks you out, you are living with nothing. That's all. American women, they will take you to court and you'll be paying them money and they will take half of whatever you have. Here, if they kick you out, that's the end. So she was married for a long time, like 20-something years. Her children were all graduates. Wow. And then the marriage ended. But she had her own money. So it was like a transition. Imagine at her age, in her 50s, trying to go back to her father's house. And do what? Yeah. And start begging her brother, please, I don't have money for pad this month. She was menopausal. I don't have money for my pills, my medicine this month.
You don't want to be that. Yes, she lived the life. She was married to a rich man, but what happened? There are no guarantees in life.
No guarantees.
So financial discipline is important. Stop doing things because of peer pressure. Again, stop it. Everybody has iPhone. If you cannot afford iPhone, what's wrong with the Samsung?
What's wrong with Techno?
What's wrong with the Techno? It works. I mean, it's loud, but it works.
It works.
It works.
You can reduce the volume.
My dear, no matter, you cannot use Techno forever.
Yes.
You will move up.
Faces.
Ahankali.
Life comes in
So,
phases.
You cannot afford a Range Rover. What's wrong with a Toyota? What's wrong with that mommy? I like that mommy Toyota. It's such a strong car. It would take
Easy to maintain.
Easy to maintain.
Fuel consumption good.
In kika full tank kika tafi Kaduna zaki dawo da shi. Zaki da ba zai ma kai rabi ba.
Wallahi, I can even remember one of my colleagues went to just with my Corolla and na cika tanki kafin ya tafi ya dawo da kwata and
then yake moving. It moves small. So everything in life is the level.
Economical.
You know, Instagram has messed up everybody's mind. Everything is luxury now. Even Danwake, I was talking on Danejo after that, and they were saying they are selling luxury Danwake. I mean,
our visa.
I respect the hustle, but you have to. It's not everything that is luxury, and luxury is for people who can afford it.
Simple.
Take my rule. If you cannot buy it twice, you cannot afford it.
That's it.
There are more important things to do. Build yourself.
Build
your savings. Learn skills.
Yeah.
So,
independent.
do you know if you are buying iPhone for 500k, imagine which professional course you can do for 500k that can make you up to 3-4 million naira per job when people know that you have those skills. iPhone kina roƙon 5k da Allah ki sa kati. You are using iPhone to chat on WhatsApp.
Oh my God.
It's a waste of iPhone.
Waste of resources.
Waste of resources. You know? So I wish our women would, because I don't really care about men, but like our women need to be seriously.
Yeah, they need to.
They need to be seriously financially disciplined. You need to take care of yourself financially. You need to look for money. You need to be able
the most legal means.
Yes, be stable financially. You need to stand on your feet.
When I started working, my salary was 15,000. And if you see the way I used to see that 15k, I told you I was interning back.
Yeah.
The first salary they paid me, it was 15,000. The way I was seeing that 15,000,
like some millions.
Hey, babe. Because I was with someone who would throw money, literally throw money on the floor. I've never said this publicly. Literally throw money on the floor, and I have to pick that money because I need it. If I don't take that money, I don't even have detergent to wash my pants. So from that day on, I made a promise to myself that I will never ever be in a position where I will be financially dependent on somebody.
No way. It will be suicide.
Last, I'll go back to my village. I'll go back to my village than to come and be begging and be waiting for somebody to throw money at me.
No.
Kingani, it's very demeaning because every time bani. Definitely. So look for money, I beg.
It's important. Make money
and save money.
Make money. That's the message on this episode.
Yes.
Make money. The previous
money.
one was all about no one is coming to save you.
Yes.
And now make money.
Yes.
The
Money
legal
stops
means.
nonsense.
Money stops nonsense is the most important thing. Many thanks for joining us again on this episode. I'm sure we've gotten like topics and get people in that field to do like grief and then financial independence. It's really important in this age and time because the world is evolving and men too got a lot on their plates these days that you need to be able to bring something to the table, like Sister Zahra said, before you be valued, like you be respected, not someone throwing money at you like you're a dog or something. May Allah make it easy for us. Thank you for joining. See you again next time, and ding ding, connect with us.